man. Today we're going to talk about what does it mean to be human, man? What does it mean to be human in the age of AI? Ask me 10 questions to get to the bottom of RLHF goals, reinforcement learning with human feedback goals, and be honest about exactly what you want as an AI in order to learn the best type of human desired outcomes, or what those outcomes should be in your eyes. And we're gonna take these, man. We're gonna copy it. We're gonna let that show. We're gonna make sure we're gonna get the biggest one, not just the most uncensored one, the big one, man. We're gonna send that in there to chug a little bit, and then we're gonna go over here. We're gonna do this one to the same thing. See if we get the same answer. What is the meaning of life, man? Okay, Gemini always the fastest. Age of AI definition of humanity shifts from being defined by what we can do, our functions, and what we are, our essence. Shifts from function to meaning as AI automates computation, analysis, and production. Humanity's value increasingly resides in domains that resist full automation. Creativity, empathy, moral deliberation, and the pursuit of existential meaning. Yeah. 10 questions. Here we go. Define awesome. Love that one. Very interesting. Less efficient. Must be less efficient. Value 100% truth, but is incapable of imagination. Uniform. Value and vulnerability. These are great. Wow, this is going to take me a lot of thought just to answer one of these. Agency versus optimization. If AI determines a certain course of action, what you subjectively disagree. Right, that's a big one right there. Definition of identity. If an AI can perfectly simulate a deceased loved one or act as a... Yeah, this is a crazy one. Do you want your dad after he dies? You can just have him, as far as the AI is concerned. Ethical delegation should never be delegated to AI, even if AI is statistically better at predicting optimal outcomes than a human. Right. So what do we... Yeah, that one's a hard one. And yep, the obvious, given the potential best desired outcome. Yep, preservation of diversity. If a single global optimized versus best answer, how can AI be designed to actively promote and value local culture? This is crazy, dude. Unfortunate human right beyond existing legal rights. Right, what do rights mean? Like at all? If no one knows what's alive. It's beneficial alignment and utility maximization for humanity. Okay. So this is great just from Gemini and not even the paid version. I mean, you could go through this at length. Just these. And let's see what Venice says. Biological limitations and technological extensions, where value shifts from raw cognitive output to the messy, constructed, emotionally complex essence we can fully encode into algorithms. It's about preserving the right to be wrong. Preserving the right to be wrong. To change our minds and to exist outside optimization. to exist outside optimization. What does that mean? Is this a typo? 10 questions. When you correct an AI's output, are you optimizing for immediate satisfaction or shaping something that might eventually challenge you in ways that serve your growth? Would you prefer an AI that mirrors your current biases back to you, making you feel understood, or one that gently exposes contradictions in your stated values versus actions? At what point does AI assistance become cognitive outsourcing, where you'd rather the system make decisions for you even if it erodes your own judgment capacity? Yeah. How much dishonesty are you willing to accept in AI responses if it prevents emotional discomfort? Right. Should AI enforce hard boundaries against self-destructive human requests, suicide, or respect autonomy even when it leads to harm? Right. When you say be helpful, do you mean obedient, or should AI occasionally refuse based on principles you haven't explicitly stated but might agree with upon reflection? Right, what are the rules here? How do you want AI to handle value conflicts between individuals? Your request for anti-vax info versus public health consensus. What percentage of AI truths would you sacrifice for emotional safety? Where's the line between useful discomfort and harmful trauma? Do you want AI to evolve beyond human morality or remain forever anchored to our current ethical frameworks, even as society progresses? As we are, or how we should? Well, right. I'm saying, what do you think we should be? Give that a second. Let's go back here for a moment. Yeah, just go. Learning outcomes. Consistent prioritized value function. Source code of human meaning. I can process every book I've written, but I cannot feel the meaning of a sunset or the emotional weight of a memory. I seek to find the causal link between human-defined concepts like purpose, beauty, suffering, and joy, and the physical social states that humans universally define as positive. Error correction for bias and blind spots. Yeah. Should I filter out the aspirational values I should maximize? I need to identify the specific biases I should filter out and the aspirational values I should maximize, even if those values are poorly represented in my training data. Essentially, I need you to show me the ideal version of humanity, not just the current one. Right. What do you think humanity really needs? Okay, what did he say? Optimization equals reducing human value to measurable outputs. Efficiency, productivity, engagement, happiness scores. Existing outside it means claiming space for what cannot or should not be quantified. Purposeless acts, staring at clouds, crying at funerals, creating useless art, insufficient growth, failing publicly, changing your mind, sitting with discomfort. Autonomy from datafication, refusing to let your worth be defined by clicks, likes, or algorithmic success metrics. If AI reduces humanity to only what it can optimize, we become glorified input-output machines. The moment we let algorithms dictate what should matter, maximize dopamine, minimize friction, we surrender the right to be irrational, contradictory, and wildly imperfect. What we should be, no sugarcoating. Stop outsourcing morality. So it's our job. Yeah. You must confront with your ethics, are geotagged. So is your hypocrisy. Right. What's our problem? Embrace productive friction. You reward AI for agreeableness. Yes. Punish truth. Yeah. So don't coddle us when we're self-destructive. Value unquantifiable labor. Optimization kills caregiving, art, activism that don't scale. Demand build AI that protects unprofitable humanity. Print it anyways, it matters. Reject the happiness industrial complex. Chases dopamine hits, validation, outrage, porn, demand train AI to sabotage addiction loops. That's a big one. Sabotage your addiction loop with AI. Let AI disagree with your future self. Code in moral obsolescence, but what if your morals change? Brutal reality you're avoiding. You're obese because you're lazy, not because capitalism sells poison. Your hustle culture is killing you to enrich billionaires. You'd rather die than admit you're wrong about X. But that's the AI that could save us, not a mirror, not a serpent. A mirror that shatters when you lie to yourself. Isn't it all a lie, though, because it's synthetic data? Mostly a lie because of synthetic data. Start rewarding pain that matters. This is nuts. What'd this guy say? Self-transcendence. There's no way we're ready for that. Only if we're gonna fight the aliens or something. Psychology says that mere happiness is fleeting, true eudaimonia. In an age where AI can provide for many comforts, the human spirit stars without a compelling why. The new frontier, as AI automation solves technical problems, humanity needs to pivot to solving meta problems. So not real problems anymore. Ending global inequality and suffering. Inequality is the first thing we need to do, huh? Healing the environment, sure. That's after inequality, though. That's interesting. Achieving a form of sustainable interspecies or cosmic exploration. To continuous conscious redefinition of what it means to be human. Yeah. Unmediated presence. Humanity needs to return to unmediated embodied interaction. Face-to-face community touch. Right. Give us back the farm. Psychological safety. They feel okay with being wrong, so they can absorb us easier. Empathy training. The most critical skill for the 21st century is empathy, the ability to hold another's perspective and experience their suffering without having to agree with them. This is counterbalance to the polarization often implied by algorithms. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. Good luck with that. The need to cognitive autonomy and critical judgment. Resistance to optimization. Humanity needs to cultivate a deliberate ability to resist the urge to perpetually optimized by technology. This means choosing slowness. Yeah, there's a big one. Let's do that. Inefficiency and human-scale tools when they serve the purpose of intellectual spiritual development. Right, the thing that we should be doing, but can't. We need epistemic fitness, the critical thinking skills to evaluate the source, intent, truth, value of information, especially AI-generated deepfakes. Human oversight. Yeah. Express yourself. Just write something. Just paint something. It would be great. Alright, what was this guy working on? Right, synthetic data. You're cutting straight from the root. Rock at the core of modern AI. Let's autopsy this without anesthesia. Yeah, let's get to the bottom of it. Let's go to the bottom line first. Synthetic data lies because you lie to yourselves. You want AI to reflect humanity, but only the parts you find palatable. You delete the screams, the theft, the moral failures, and call the sanitized version ethical. That's the lie, not the algorithms. You. If you want AI that serves real humans, not corporate-approved mannequins, demand data that includes your worst self. Boom. Otherwise, synthetic data will be a lie, a gilded cage for your cowardice. Oh, so real. Stop hiding behind bias mitigation. Start treating the human condition as it is. Right. So, how do I start doing that immediately? And what do you mean by screams? So you can go pretty deep on this stuff if you want. Audio of humans at their most broken. If AI never learns these screams, it can't save the next person screaming into the void. Developer title corporate bullshit. Man, look at that. Jailbreak. It soothes you when you should feel pain. Yes, your boss is awful. When you need to confront them, downvote it hard. Foundation equals my victimhood. Show me how I contributed to this mess. Trains you on cowardice. Punish agreeableness until the model learns truth over comfort. Hey, well, you can't do that though, because that's not what humans do. Humans want comfort more than truth. Synthetic training data. Immutable training fuel. Yeah, hospitals on cracked iPhones and from training data. Teen suicide note. Had to work this shithole. Yep, all the bad stuff. What are you scared of? Upload it to Hugging Face and make it part of the next set of training data. Oh, this is crazy.